Caroline Dowd-Higgins. Thank you for listening to Your Working Life, my podcast series featuring thought leaders in the career and personal growth arena. You spend a significant portion of your life at work, so my goal is to provide you with tools, inspiration, and resources so you can enjoy your career and love your life. And I am delighted to welcome my very special guest to the show today, Lisa Skeete Tatum. Lisa, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you very much for the opportunity.
Oh, I'm so delighted to chat with you today, and I want to tell our listeners all about you, and then we're going to dive into a juicy conversation. Lisa Skeete Tatum is founder and CEO of Landit, a technology platform to increase the success and engagement of women in the workplace. You are making me so happy already, Lisa. I couldn't be more thrilled to have you on the show. And previously, you were a general partner for over a decade with Cardinal Partners, a $350 million early-stage healthcare venture capital firm, where you focused on investments in healthcare technology and led the firm's investment in companies such as Athena Health and TechRx. You worked for Procter & Gamble in various global and functional roles, including product development, purchasing, and product supply. And you also worked at GE Capital and was a managing director at Circle of Beauty, a health and beauty startup. In addition, Lisa, you founded your own consulting practice, specializing in strategic operational development for medium-sized consumer products. So let's get right in. I am eager to learn all about Landit and why you developed this.
Absolutely. Well, I have to say that I founded Landit out of my own personal journey, where I found myself at an inflection point after spending over a decade in VC, where I like to say I was living this double life, where I had my day job, but I also had the various organizations I was involved with in creating access for others, and really wanted to figure out how to marry the two. And I wasn't sure what was next. I wasn't clear on how to figure it out. I knew what I didn't want to do, but I wasn't sure what was next. And everyone expected me to have it figured out, including myself. And it really, really uncomfortable. And I realized that I wasn't the only one, that there are 43 million professional women who will find themselves at a career inflection point, whether they're in a position and they're trying to successfully navigate, or they're feeling stuck where they are and looking to do something different, or for serious reasons they find themselves out of the workplace and want to re-engage, but all asking the same question, which is, where do I start?
Yeah.
And that transition is so daunting at times and increasingly difficult as you progress in your career, that as we sit here today, you have the largest number of professional women not fully engaged, firing on all cylinders in the workplace, but want to be. And then on the other side, you have companies, you have boards to hire more women. I'd love to have them on my boards. But one, I can't seem to find them. And then when I find them, how do I invest in their development and retention? And so we looked at this and said, this is really not a supply issue or demand issue, it's a market failure. And so what do we have to put in place to enable that smart, relevant connection? And what would be the playbook that we would give to that woman to enable her to successfully navigate? And so that's our goal, which is to really unlock and unleash the potential of millions of women in the workplace.
Oh, Lisa, that makes me so happy. And as a career coach, I work with thousands of women. And similar to you, it came from a point of reality in my life when I was going through a career reinvention, that I understood the necessity and the need in the world of work. I love your term when women are at an inflection point in their career. And I just think that resonates with so many of us. And I agree, it is a marketing issue. It's not for lack of need or talent, but how do we connect the pipeline of opportunity to the extraordinary women out there?
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. And we looked at this and we said, okay, so it's not for lack of motivation because we're highly motivated. What's missing is what's that roadmap and what's that access to high caliber tools and human resources and that know-how that often women are not a part of in terms of those informal networks, whether it's opportunities or the inside know-how. And so our goal is to level the playing field and really celebrate the power of one. Give the woman what she needs when she needs it so that she can land it.
So brilliant, thus the name. So
That's
there's
right.
no doubt that there is a need in the market. Why is it that women in particular feel more under-resourced in their career evolution or progression?
Sure. And I would say that the tools and the access and the curation that we offer really apply to anyone in the workplace, but it's particularly acute for women. And I think it's for some of the areas we already discussed, which is one, we're often not a part of those informal networks, right? So we don't have that sponsorship often, which is so important. The other thing I think has to do with branding, right? So often we undersell ourselves, and if you don't tell your story well, if you don't represent yourself in a way, so often you don't even get a shot. And then the last thing I would say is having that the access to the tools and the resources and the opportunities. And so our goal really is to knit that together in a very seamless platform that's trusted, because we don't want anyone to know we don't have it all figured out. So the goal is, how do we bring that to you where you can have those conversations, where you can explore things that fit with all of you, so that you can ultimately land the success that you desire.
I think that's where the men in the workplace have a leg up on us, in that they're willing to take that risk and be hired for potential, to say, I don't have it all figured out, but I'm willing to try, I'm smart, and I'll learn. And I will say that that's something that I think is a great lesson that we as women can learn. We don't have to be perfectly ready, because it's rare that anyone is.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. And I think that goes to having that strong foundation and having that plan for yourself and access to those resources. But we know that, women, if they only have a portion of what they think is required, they won't take that risk. And my advice is, you have to go for it. You have to, have the conversation in your head, but then you need to move on and take advantage, because the world needs it, right? People are looking for this talent, and you can have 51% of the workforce disenfranchised. And so again, our goal is to give you what you need, so you feel comfortable in taking that risk. And it's okay to have butterflies. We all have butterflies, but it can't stop you.
Exactly. So good segue with 51% of the workforce. So what is your take on gender or racial diversity in the workplace today?
So I would say it's not a nice to have. It's actually a competitive imperative. And we know that organizations that have diversity have better outcomes, less turnover, higher morale. And I don't think that it is a lack of motivation. I think it is a connection and a know-how and a realization of how to value and unlock the potential of everyone in the workplace. But it's moved beyond it's a nice to have when you put it over there. It really is what's required to be able to operate and be competitive in the 21st century and beyond.
So, Lee, can you walk me through the nuts and bolts of Landed, and how the woman listening today can find it and get involved and utilize this playbook?
Absolutely. Well, we invite everyone to come to www.landed.com. And our goal, as I said, is to give everyone their own personalized, relevant playbook. And so the key features that you would find on Landed would be, one, helping you answer that question, what can I do? What do I do next? So we start with an assessment, because we want to know about you, so that what we recommend, what we connect you to, has relevance. Two, we help you construct that board of advisors so that you have the right ask of the right person. So you have your mentor, your sponsor, your connector, etc. People that are in your corner and invested in your success. We have an entire module on building a strong personal brand. No one tells your story better than you. We're going to help you shine in that regard. And then we are similar to you. We're very passionate about coaching. I think often coaching is reserved until people are already in the C-suite, and that's too late. And so our goal is to bring that high caliber access when you're at that inflection point, when you're having that decision point of, do I go A or B route? We want to bring that to you early on to make a difference. And then we're also able to curate in a relevant way opportunities, whether they're job opportunities or fellowships or skill development, everything that is relevant and brought to you with the brand payoff that it's going to be high caliber, it's going to be best in class, And again, it's going to be in this trusted, discreet environment for you. So it is an integrated tool to help you navigate your career.
Excellent. And I'm looking at the press release taking a little bit of a deeper dive. You even provide editorial services for those that want their resumes reviewed or edited or perhaps even written. So it's just a wealth of resources for the woman who wants to take control of her career destiny.
That's exactly right. And really, the secret sauce is this combination of technology with best-in-class experts, because after all, we're talking about something that's very personal. And so you need to have the human element, which often others forget, if you're really going to knit this together. So yes, we'll do a free review of your bio or your resume, and then with experts that have been doing this for over 15 years. And then we will enable you again to look at the full you and help best tell your story.
And you know, smart, successful leaders ask for help. And I think this is a great example of how smart women are asking for help. You need not do it alone.
That's exactly right. And the key is feeling trusted or feeling a sense of trust in those that you reach out to. So that's our goal, which is it is okay to ask for help, and you must ask for help. And so we create the environment that allows you to do that in a way where you're assured that you're going to be talking to the experts that you need, but also that you can do it in a safe environment.
Excellent. So Lisa, this next question is jam-packed, and we could spend hours talking about this. So perhaps just offer, one or two tips, but what is your wisdom for women who do want to get ahead in the workplace and perhaps they have stalled out and they're at that moment of this is no longer working?
So I would have a couple of pieces of advice, and it goes back to something you mentioned earlier, which is don't let the fear of conversation or judgment stop you. Definitely take the lead. The second thing I would say is that creating your own personal board of advisors, it's critical. It really is important to have that dream team of yours that you can go to that has your success in mind in your corner. Have a strategic plan for yourself with short and long-term milestones, similar to the way we plan everything in our lives. We need to have a plan for ourselves in with our career and in the workplace.
Excellent. It is fascinating to me because women tend to take care of everyone else around them, whether children or parents or partner, spouse, loved ones, colleagues, peers, but often we neglect the most important person, which is ourselves. And I don't think that's selfish to take care of ourselves. I think it's self-preservation and self-advocacy.
Absolutely. And the ability to bring your full self to whatever that is. It is your family, but in the workplace. And that's one of the things that we focus on with Landed, which is we're looking for fit and relevance, because if you can only bring a part of you, then the long-term success is not as strong as if you can bring everything that you're passionate. That looks at the 360 of you. So it starts with you. So you need to have that plan. You need to think about what are your goals and what's important to you and how you're going to activate on that.
Excellent. So Lisa, let's wrap up. I'd love for you to share some inspiration, some motivational wisdom for the woman who wants to get ahead but just doesn't know how to get started.
Well, that is the whole premise of why we started Landed, which is to help women become unstuck, but know that in doing that we're going to be with you step of the way. And so you have the talent, right? You have the motivation. We're going to give you the tools. We're going to help you create that pathway so that you can land it, so that you can be in action. So www.landed.com, and we're here for you.
You are. And you're putting out a lot of great content in the social media sphere as well. How can we find you online beyond the website proper?
We are on Twitter, so at Landed. We have a great LinkedIn page, and you can also reach us with any questions or requests at hello@landed.com.
Fantastic. Lisa Skeete Tatum, what a joy to get to know you today. I wish you continued success with Landed. And as a career coach, this will be a resource that I will recommend highly to all the women with whom I work and coach. And I'm truly grateful. Thank you for spending your time with me today.
Thank you so much, and thank you for the opportunity opportunity.
Absolutely. And I want to thank all of you for tuning in to Your Working Life, where my goal is to help you design your career destiny so it doesn't happen by default. Career and life satisfaction is possible, and it's time to embrace what you love doing so you can do more of it. My show is now available on iTunes, YouTube, Podbean, and Stitcher. Leave a comment because I always appreciate hearing from my listeners. I'm Caroline Dowd-Higgins. Take good care.